We're here today to demonstrate the broad coalition of, like I said, law enforcement and prosecutors, judges, mental health advocates, and of course public policymakers or legislators. And we want to have a discussion on the intersection of issues relating to mental health and extreme gun violence, as we have over the last several weeks. And we have an access problem, and the severely mentally ill should never have access to guns. Now, having said that, we have an epidemic of untreated mental illness in the United States and right here in Minnesota. 25% of all adults have a diagnosable mental illness, but only about half get treatment. But when treated, the mentally ill are no more likely to become violent than the general population.
People with untreated mental illness come into the criminal justice system and languish there in staggering numbers. You probably all know the statistic, but the largest mental health facility in the country is the Los Angeles jail. Second largest, New York City jail. Third largest is the Chicago jail. So that tells you the scope of the problem that people like Sheriff Stanek and Sheriff Olson have to deal with in handling their populations. The first thing that we need to do is to have some screening of people and assessment to determine what their needs really are. Right now, we get some information, but not near the level of information that we need in order to make intelligent decisions that allow treatment in the best environment, probably not jail, for the person with untreated mental illness, but still keeping the public safe. We can do that relatively easily, and I, as a judge, then can make decisions that are good for all of us, that get people with untreated mental illness out of jail.
These folks often don't even have the insight that they have a mental illness. And so they resist the treatment. They tongue the medications. They don't want to recognize they need treatment. And so those competency hearings, the judicial oversight in the process, is important to basically cause them to get into the treatment that they need and others around them can see that they need, but they cannot see for themselves. I will also say, as the senator for the area where the Rachamim family lives, the owner of Accent Signage, which was located in the Bryn Mawr neighborhood in Minneapolis, but the family lives in St. Louis Park, that this is very personal for my community. And it highlights the importance of this, not just in the school shootings that we saw in Newtown, but you saw the movie theater in Colorado, and you saw the sign company in Minneapolis. The confluence of mental health issues and dangerous products like guns in particular is very unnerving, and we need to focus on solutions like are being proposed here so that we can all be safer and so that the people who are victims of their own mental illnesses can also then be prevented from victimizing others in other more dangerous ways.
If we're talking about gun violence, the answer are ban them all or don't touch any of them. And I think the sheriff has really hit something on mental illness is a major problem in the criminal justice system. It's a major problem of violence, and we need to have the guts to talk about it.
I think what's needed here at the state capitol is a conversation, an understanding of what our civil commitment law standards are, so that especially parents who might be struggling with how to help care for their adult children or spouses, so that we understand. I'm not sure that any change is needed, but I think that we need to have the conversation, and we should compare Minnesota's laws to other states. And I think it was Representative Lesh who suggested 27 other states have a different standard, and I think we should know why our standard is the way it is, and let's have a conversation. Is it the right standard for Minnesota?